This is Chelle of Chelle's Creations, and in this video I'm going to show you one of the ways that you can scrap on your phone. Today I'm going to be using an app called PicStitch. There are some advantages to PicStitch that I will be talking about today in the app. PicStitch is not available on the Android, but you can download PhotoGrid. It looks like that would be very similar to PicStitch. And also today, in order to add the stories to my cards, I'm going to be using the app Over. Also today, I'm going to be using the Lovin' Oven journal cards. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, the first thing that we want is to go ahead and open up our PicStitch app. Now, one of the advantages, we need to go ahead and choose a layout. So down here in the bottom left-hand corner, we're going to go ahead and choose a layout. And let's see, I think the one we want, I want something that has like 3 photos. Yeah, I think this is the one I want. Okay, the first thing that I always do is place my photos. So let's go ahead and place those. Let's go ahead with click on the spot that you want to put a photo in, and we're going to go ahead and take it from my photo album. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll back to the day that we were making gingerbread. Let's see, it would have been right before Christmas. Okay, this is the day that we were making gingerbread. I think on that one up there, because it's the top, I want to do the one where he's showing off his dinosaur cookies. You can edit your photos in here and change them up. I just go ahead and use them the way they are, or I edit them when I bring them in. I don't play a lot with those editing things. Okay, and let's choose another photo for this spot. So I'm going to click on this spot and go ahead and choose from my photo album. In this program, you do have to keep scrolling to the spot where all of your photos are. Did I go back too far? I went back too far. There we go. Okay, how about on this one, him rolling it out? I got one of him rolling it out. There it is, rolling pin. Yeah, let's put that one there and go ahead and say done. And let's stick one photo in the middle on this side over here. How about one where he's actually cutting out the cookies? Let's go back to that day. How about this one right here? Now also, if you want to zoom in, you can just grab and pinch to shrink it, and or to zoom in, you can just do the opposite of the pinch. Put your fingers on and stretch them out so that you can put the photos where you want. You can also move them around if they're not sized. If it's not the right spot, move it to where you want, so that you can get your photos like you want. Okay, step 2 is the story for me, and so I'm going to do that on a journal card in this bottom left-hand corner. Now, in order to do that, I need to be able to add my story to the journal card, and some of the grid programs like this will allow you to do that, but I find it's easier to do that in a separate app. So I'm going to go ahead and go into the Over app to do that. But in order to use my card, I need to download my card and have it on my phone. Now that's one of the disadvantages of Over as an app. I can't go directly from Dropbox, which is where I have them. So let's go to my Dropbox. And inside of my Dropbox, I have a folder right down here. If I click on Files, I have a folder that's called Cards for Mobile Scrapping. And that's the ones that I throw any journaling cards that I want to use in there. So let's go ahead and let's see, this one right here, the recipe card. And then right up here in the top right-hand corner, that little arrow, if you click on that one, then I can save that image, and that will save it to my photo stream so that I can go ahead and add some words to it. So let's go back in. Now we have to go back to Over, and we can go ahead and say that I want to take a photo from my albums, and I want to use this most recent one. And I want to go ahead and add text to it. Now when I am adding text to one of these cards, it does not have an editing function inside of it, and so if I had any misspellings or mistypings, that wouldn't show up. So I find it easier to do that in an app that will help me on my phone. And for iPhones, that's the Notes, and so I've already typed in my notes right here. I have gingerbread dinosaurs. I'm not sure where he got that idea, but he was so excited to make them all by himself. And I know that the space that I want it to take on that card, I need it to wrap around the mixer that's in the bottom corner. So I have put returns in after the not and after the idea and excited and them and himself. So I'm just going to hold my thumb down so that it selects and then say select all and copy. And now let's go back into the Over app. Double tap to edit text, so I can double tap, and then I'm just going to go ahead and hold my thumb down till it pops up, and I can paste it in. And I want it to be black. And once it's there, then you're done. You can go ahead and hit the done button. But that's too big. As far as the font goes, you can choose a font at this point. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the one that's there. I'm going to go to edit, and the first thing that happens when you get to edit, the top will let you choose the color. The next one down lets you choose the size. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink it down. You can see it shrinking behind me. Oops, I think I accidentally lowered the opacity and I didn't mean to do that. Okay, I want it something like that size. And now down on the bottom, I can adjust the alignment, and I want to align it to the left. Okay, that looks like I need it to be just a little bit smaller, or it's going to run into the mixer when I center it. Okay, and then you can move it with these arrow keys. You can also move it by just grabbing it with your thumb or your finger there and sliding it to where you want. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, now let's bring the dial back out, and now we want to save it. So let's go up here to save, and that will save it to your camera roll. Now, as far as what size it saves it, this is a 4x6. So when I brought it in, it was 1200 by 6, so 1800. And I checked to see what size it saves it to my camera roll, and it saved it really close to that same size. I think it was about 1920 by something. Okay, we are finished with Over, so let's go back into our pick stitch. And I'm going to put that one right down here on the bottom. So click on that bottom one and tell it that you would like to take one from your photo album is where I put that one. And then up here on the top, I want to use one of the other journaling cards. And this is the real advantage to this app, because you can go ahead and take it directly from Dropbox. You don't have to do that step in between where you save it to your phone. Now, we had to do that step in between to use it in the Over app, so it kind of deletes the purpose. But if you're going to be using a lot of separate cards that you don't want to save to your photo stream, then this would work. So let's go ahead and go to Dropbox, and you can see that it will let me load directly from Dropbox. So I want my cards for mobile scrapping, and I want I like this little one with a checkered background, and I have the Insta-Life. Let's go ahead and get the journal card. The difference between the two is the Insta-Life are square and the journal cards are 4x6, or if they're horizontal ones, they're 4x6. If they're vertical ones, they're 3x4. Okay, there we go. Now I just want to come down here to export. And you can choose whether you want to, put it on Facebook, put it in Instagram, print it at Walgreens, print it in a book. I just want to go ahead and save it to my photo album. So I click on the one that's photo album. And it will go ahead and show me a commercial here. I might have the free version of this app because it brings up ads. As you can see, there's ads all the way along the bottom, and it brings up an ad every time I try to save it to my phone. So it might be that I ended up getting it for free instead of paying for this app. But so yeah, it does pop up an ad each time that I go to save something. So that is now saved. One of the disadvantages of this app is that the largest size that it will export is 1936 by 1936. Which if you wanted to print an 8x8 book, you're looking, that's 242 DPI, which is kind of pushing it for getting on the low resolution size. It definitely would not print a 12x12 book. But it is nice in that you don't have to save the cards to your photo stream. You can upload them directly from Dropbox. If you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.